Dream Defenders by Keenan, Dalton, Ryan, and Noah. Dream Defenders is a contemporary student-based human rights organization with 7 chapters established across the state of Florida. Their mission: Dream Defenders will bring social change by training and organizing youth and students in nonviolent civil disobedience, civic engagement, and direct action, while creating a sustainable network of youth and student leaders to take action and create real change in their communities. We fight the criminalization of our generation by directly confronting the sources, sponsors, and supporters of it. On the evening of February 26, 2012, 17-year-old Trayvon Martin was shot and killed by 28-year-old Neighborhood Watch member George Zimmerman in the Dream Defenders' home state of Florida. The Dream Defenders' uproar in response to this historic event and the controversial criminal case that ensued would gain them national attention. Starting on July 16, 2013, the Dream Defenders staged a month-long sleep-in at the state's capital to draw attention to Trayvon's Law, a measure that sought to revise the state's stance on racial profiling, school-to-prison pipeline.
My name is Stephen Parkett. I'm the communications director. We are here demanding that Governor Rick Scott call a special session of legislature to review a package that we put together called Trayvon's Law. So when we look at the environment that created this situation, we're looking at racial profiling, we're looking at the school-to-prison pipeline, and we're looking at stand your ground.
That's why we've been here since July 16th, to demand action from our political leadership in this state and say, you know, there's a real crisis going on in our communities.
Racial profiling.
The first pillar in the 3 pillars of our Trayvon Martin Civil Rights Act is an end to racial profiling. Now, what we've done is laid out an agenda that leaves room for our lawmakers to do what they do best and present innovative ideas to tackle the issues. We've done a little bit of the work, but there's much work to do. So the first pillar is to remove and eradicate the scourge of racial profiling from our police forces, from our neighborhood watchmen, and from anybody that seeks to judge someone for the color of their skin.
The school-to-prison pipeline.
The school-to-prison pipeline. Now, for anybody that may be wondering what that is, it is, as it states, a prevalent and corrosive list of policies and disciplinary procedures that funnel disproportionately our black and our brown and our poor children out of schools and into prisons. And what is perpetuated by these policies is a generation of secondhand citizens, which in Florida, before they reach high school, have already caught a felony. And in Florida, because of their inability to see the light, if you have a felony in the state of Florida, you are rendered a second-class citizen. It is legal for anyone to discriminate against you in housing, in employment, and you cannot vote. That means you have no say over your future. So we're producing a generation of young people before they reach 8th grade who have no choice, no voice over their future. And so we're here today to present a unified student resistance, not to demonstrate to you, not to protest what has happened in the past, but to present a way forward for our state.
The Stand Your Ground Law.
The Stand Your Ground law really does encourage violence and protect the perpetrators more than it does diminish or decrease violence. I think a law like that induces so much confusion and that can be applied so wantonly and that really doesn't protect anyone should be off the books. And I think our lawmakers here in the state of Florida and others around the country are elected to be the brightest brains as it comes to making laws. And so we want to give them an opportunity to make a better law, but clean this one off the books.
Although they were unsuccessful in the passing of Trayvon's law, the Dream Defenders' 31-day sit-in was progressive and proved that young people could organize and interact with their governments in a mature and peaceful manner. Executive Director Philip Agnew summed up the group's achievements at the sit-in's commencement ceremony.
We forced a poll that the Tampa Bay Times said was doomed. But it was the first time in history that an organization that didn't call its home either side of this building had forced a poll of our lawmakers and forced them to answer a question of the people. And it means a great deal to us because now we know who's with us and who's for us and who's against us. And that list covers names on both sides of the aisle, and we will never forget. Speaker of the House a few weeks ago ordered a hearing on Stand Your Ground, a hearing that he said he would never have. And we know that he would not have had we not been sleeping on the bottom floor of this building. And we are looking forward to that debate because we know Stand Your Ground doesn't have ground to stand on. We engaged Mr. Matt Gaetz in a spirited debate online. And I'm looking forward to meeting him in these halls to have a true discourse about a law that allows for vigilantism, allows for fear to end in death. And today we're proud to announce that we have secured a meeting with the FDLE to discuss our plans around racial profiling, the changes that need to happen in our law enforcement around racial profiling. We will indeed have a seat at the table. And in our second issue, the school to prison pipeline, we're proud to announce that we will be meeting with the heads of both the Department of Education and the Department of Juvenile Justice to discuss a list of changes, a list of bills, a list of policy adjustments that must be made and that must be brought forth, generated, built, developed by young people in the state, people of color in the state. And we also have a bill up presented by Senator Dwight Bullard that we authored that will get its day in one of these halls on the school to prison pipeline. But now the real work begins. And so it is now that I am proud to announce that our work and our power has grown too big for these halls. And that it's time for the movement to continue.
For more information and how to get involved, please visit dreamdefenders.org.